Yeah, I thought the batting performance was certainly a lot better than what we showed against the Renegades a few days previously. So I think having a good chat to the batting group around the way we want to go about our cricket, and for them to then be able to put that into practice. And yeah, we felt like we were putting what was hopefully a really competitive score on the board before the rain came, and then to take that early wicket of Marcus Stoinis was great with the ball, but yeah, unfortunately. The rain came and we couldn't quite get the result. But yeah, I think we take a lot of positives out of that match, and we've trained really strongly here in Canberra over the last few days, and looking forward to the Thunder tomorrow.
What did you make of Ashton Turner's performance, not only in game 2, but game 1 as well? His form struggles have obviously been pretty well documented over the last year and a bit, but do you feel like he's finally turned the corner? And I mean, some of those sixes he hit, it looked like the Ashton Turner of old, didn't it?
Yeah, I think he's playing with some confidence at the moment, which can be a huge thing in our game. And we're starting to see the Ash Turner of probably 2 seasons ago. So, yeah, again, there's some really positive signs for him to be able to take on the matchups that he knows are good for him, and to hit the ball cleanly like he did the other night, I think bodes well for us. And, he was one of a number of positives to come out of the game.
And Dorf, did he make it to Canberra all good last night?
He did, yeah. Arrived safely and trained with us this morning. So he's smiling from ear to ear, and he's ready to go as well.
Beautiful, mate. And Mitch Marsh, is he any chance of having a bowl this game, or is he more likely for the Adelaide leg of the tournament?
He's had a couple of bowls here in Canberra. It's unlikely that he'll be ready to bowl tomorrow night. We'll continue to build him. He's moving positively in the right direction, and if it's not Adelaide, it'll certainly be Perth. So that's obviously handy for us to have that extra bowling option up our sleeve, for Mitch to be able to contribute with the ball as well as the bat will be crucial for us at the back end of the tournament.
And just one on the power surge, was there much said about the usage of that the other night? I guess there was a fair bit going on at the time, but I heard Colin Munro speak about it, and he kind of admitted in hindsight he probably should have used it earlier. Is there much planning ahead of the next game and how to potentially use it?
Yeah, again, we're all learning on the run at the moment, and there was good conversation after the game about when we took the power play and could we have potentially taken it earlier. I think they were looking to take it in the over that Ash Turner ended up getting out, and we just lost a bit of momentum at that stage. So, I think the message, and I think Colin mentioned it the other night, was as soon as we start talking or thinking about taking it, then that's probably a good time to take it. And I'd certainly much prefer our batters to be out there than potentially our bowlers who have taken the power play so far. So, again, hopefully we're in a really strong position. We've got 2 batters going and have some momentum when we can take it in this game coming up.
All right, perfect. Thanks, mate.
Thanks, mate.
Thanks, George. Josh, do you want to jump in?
No worries. Hey, Adam, how you going? Just, I guess, obviously a bit of a longer break for you guys as well between games for Big Bash standards, and given you sort of missed out on a bit of a chance to bowl. Have you guys sort of done any extra sort of match practice to make sure you guys are up for scratch? I guess mainly for the bowlers missing out on that innings.
Yeah, look, it'll all come in a rush at the back end of the tournament for us, but I think we're using this time really well to try and get some good solid training runs in. When we start getting our games a lot closer together at the back end of the tournament, we're not going to have a lot of time to do that. So we've tried to use this opportunity to get some strong work into the boys. And like I said, they've trained really strongly over the last few days. And look, the whole squad looks in good shape and ready to take on the Thunder.
Just following off Jordan's question about Ashton Turner, I mean, I think when he was handed the captaincy, there might have been a bit of a surprise given he was sort of searching for some form and maybe it was a bit of an extra responsibility on top of trying to find some. But how has he handled that? And do you think it's helped him in any way as he's sort of finding his way back into the runs?
Yeah, I think Ash, particularly in T20 cricket, I think he's got a lot of currency in this form of the game. It wasn't a tough decision to talk to Ash about the captaincy, and I think he has really embraced it and relishes the responsibility, and we've seen him perform really strongly in the first 2 games. And look, it was a plan that was put in place a little while ago now, so it wasn't a surprise to Ash as it may have been for you guys. But no, look, I think he's done terrific job these first couple of games, and we'll continue to monitor that situation. But I think he's done a good job so far.
And just planning for the Thunder, obviously, they bat so deep. When you look at the lineup, obviously some guys with Australian experience up the top of the order, and then some really big power hitters through that 5, 6, 7. Do you look at potentially picking an extra bowler just to have another option to deal with some of those power hitters like Cutting and Sams towards the lower end of the middle order?
I think if you get your plans right and you execute well against those guys, that goes a long way towards minimising their impact. So I think we're well planned against those guys. I think we've got a really balanced team with obviously Aaron Hardy being able to provide overs with the ball, but also some batting power at the back end as well. So I don't think we'll change too much in terms of the balance of our side. We know we're going to have to execute well against a pretty strong Thunder team. Like you mentioned, they've got some class at the top and a bit of power down the bottom. So again, a lot of our training over the last couple of days is about being able to put those plans into place in the heat out in the middle. So we're looking forward to that.
Thanks, mate.
Thanks, Josh. Ash, do you want to jump in?
Yeah, just a quick one from me. Adam, apologies, I just came on late, so I wasn't sure whether or not you've just mentioned about Ashton Agar and where he's at.
Yeah, no, I haven't spoken about Ash yet. Look, he's tracking along nicely. He's recovering from. He's got the double whammy. He's got the calf, but he's also got a small crack in one of his fingers as well. So they're both probably healing at a roughly the same rate. We're hopeful that Ash will be able to get up for our Adelaide leg. But again, it's a day-by-day basis to just monitor him and see how he's going. And if it's not Adelaide, it will certainly be our Perth, our home games. So, we're really looking forward to getting Ash back into our side. He's a quality performer, and to be able to have him in tandem with Farward as a spin duo is going to be really important to us.
A little bit sort of difficult. I mean, as you mentioned, he's got the double whammy. How do you grade someone like that back? I mean, with Mitch, it's a little bit nicer in terms of you can bring him back to bat and then sort of hold off with the bowling aspect to it. But do you sort of need Ash to be able to sort of be firing on both, bowling and batting in order for him to get his position back?
Yeah, he needs to be able to perform first and foremost, and that's what our fitness tests do to make sure that not only are they capable of getting out there on the field, but they're actually able to perform as well. So that's the important bit. We'll continue to work with Ash. He's doing some good stuff back in Perth with our coaches. And like I said, we continue to monitor him. If it's not the Adelaide leg, it'll certainly be the Perth leg, but we hope to see him sooner rather than later.
And just finally, have you been in touch with Jason Roy and Liam Livingston and how they're going with their quarantine at the moment?
Yeah, I have been in regular contact with those two guys. I think the finish line's in sight now. They get out on Christmas Day. They've got a few days to go. I think the PlayStation's got a pretty good workout over the last couple of weeks, and I think a few other boys have been getting online and communicating with them that way as well. So I'm sure they're looking forward to getting out. We're looking forward to meeting up with them in Adelaide.
Awesome. Thanks so much. Good luck.
Thanks.
Thanks, Ash. Lockie, do you have anything you want to ask?
Yeah, just one. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, got you, mate.
Beauty. Cheers. Just the one. There's one bloke who was in some pretty good form in the Sheffield going a few weeks back. Sam Whiteman, how far off is he from getting himself a spot in the 11?
Yeah, no, Sam's obviously had a terrific start to the season, particularly in red ball cricket. And look, the strength of our squad is mean that unfortunately he's not in our side at the moment. But no, he's striking the ball nicely at training, as is Curtis Patterson. We've got some good players who can't get into our lineup at the moment. So as with most tournaments, generally we're going to need those guys at some point, whether that be through form or injury. So for those guys to just make sure they stay ready is really important, and hopefully opportunity comes for them at some point. But it's tough for Sam. That he can't get a spot at the moment, but things can change very quickly in this game.
Cool. Thanks, Lockie. Jordan, do you want to quickly ask one more to wrap us up?
Yes, please. Yeah. Just following up on Ash's question about Roy and Livingston, how do they prepare for the next game while they're in quarantine? Is there any sort of specialised kind of? Are they doing anything kind of quirky or anything in the hotel room preparation wise? Like, are you confident they'll be right for the 28th?
Yeah, they got a bit of fitness equipment in there, but outside of that, it's fairly limited. So they'll fly to Adelaide on Boxing Day, and we'll have a session with them in the afternoon and just get an assessment as to where they're at. We're obviously hopeful that they'll play on the 28th, but also understanding that 2 weeks in hotel quarantine isn't a great preparation in terms of then going straight into a game. So we'll monitor them when they get into Adelaide, and just give them the best opportunity to be able to go out and perform. And if we decide that that isn't the 28th and that's the 31st, then so be it. But we'll be able to make those assessments when we actually see them in Adelaide.
And have you got sort of Joe Clark for as long as you need? If the others didn't pull up, have you got him for 4 or 5 games if need be?
Yeah, that's certainly the plan, is to keep Joe around, particularly for Adelaide, and then he'll likely come to Perth with us as well, and just provide that backup cover should we need it. I think Joe's got better with each time he's hit the ball since he's been with us. I thought he played really nicely the other day. So, yeah, look, if the guys don't get up for any reason in Adelaide, then we'll certainly still have Joe available and potentially in Perth as well.